it's important in life to be balanced, right? But nobody in life that's super balanced ever accomplishes anything great. You don't sit there, like they don't interview Michael Jordan. He's like, I lived a very balanced life. I spent 2 hours with the family in the morning. I went to church for an hour. And it's like, they're not balanced people, right? So if you want to accomplish anything great, number 10, the last point, and I love Cody, obviously, one of my best friends in the world, so I threw Cody's picture up there. It could have been any athlete. But anybody who accomplishes anything really, really, really great in life, like breaking records, accomplishing huge things. When Greg Murray broke the all-time rookie record of PMP, he did not live a balanced life at that time, you know? And that's what we work on now, is like getting to the point where it is more balanced. But for certain segments of life, it's funny how the 12-week year, we talk about that from sales, UFC fighters, athletes. The whole 12-week year was built on Olympians and their training program. They do 12 weeks of training at a time, and they segment it and push everything into 12 weeks, and then take a week off, then work on new skill sets again in 12 weeks. And it's the same methodology. What I want to end with and challenge you guys is you can accomplish amazing, amazing things. When I owned the company, and we're going on 11 years now, but years 3, 4, and 5, we were number one fastest growing company in Sacramento. We had a lot of money coming in. We took that money and we always reinvested in the company. I wish Ryan Parks was here or Bruce. They could attest to it, but we have for every $100 that's always come into Precision, we've put $99 back in. We pulled out less than 1% of profit in the company in 10 years. And the reason we did that is because we had big goals and big vision of the company to grow it to be something really, really impactful. Does that make sense? And if you are maybe balanced, like a balanced thing would say pull 10% of profit out, reinvest that to other things, and be diversified, right? The biggest and best companies weren't diversified in the beginning. They believed in what they did and they put everything into that. Does that make sense? So I think the balance thing sometimes works in general over an 85-year life. You want to be balanced, but you have to have segments of your life. So if you, there's a lot of young people in here, and if you can just take, I'll give you this example right now because of harvest time. If you just took 3 months out and you, let's say a normal schedule was like a normal American schedule is 9 to 5. Like you work from 9 to 5, but then at 5 o'clock you're done, you're with family, right? Imagine if you did something different. Imagine if you woke up at 5:30 in the morning, you started at 6, you were out the door, you drove, you got Starbucks, you were at your first ASC, because ASC start earlier, you had coffee, you were doing your meetings, and you were just jamming. And normal person sees 10 accounts a day, you're like, I'm gonna see 20. Right? And you have this mindset, you're like, I'm going to do 2 to 3 times what anybody else does in a short window. There's something really, really powerful. On here we wrote, it's called a slight edge theory. Tony Robbins talks about this. Like the reason why in Major League Baseball, somebody can have just slightly better batting average, but the average Major League Baseball player is making $1 million, and then this person's making $17 million a year. He's making 17 times what all the other people is, and his batting percentage is just a fraction of percentage higher, right? All because for a Major League Baseball team, they're like, if we can get every player to be a fraction a little bit better across the league, we can win the championship. It's a slight edge theory. Same thing happens on all of sports, same thing happens in business. You guys compete every day with 2, 3, 4 other reps. If you're just slightly better and a doctor says, I don't know, there's something about Tristan I like just a little bit better, I'm gonna go with him. Make sense? Over a competitor. It didn't take a lot, it was just a little bit. There's something about you that nobody else had. And I promise everybody in this room, I told the story of the distributors earlier. The biggest reps we have in the nation, Mike and Danielle, have a beach house. And this beach house, I was at it, it's been like about a month ago. And they'll spend 100 days at this beach house next year. And I'm like, that's inspiring, actually. Most companies would say, you know, why are you not working more? That's a lot of days at your beach house, you know? And for them, they've set up infrastructure. They've put on these 80, 90, 100-hour weeks for years and years. They built something really, really big where they're making millions and millions of dollars. They'll make $3 million next year in profit, and they get to live a really, really good life. But it's not because what they did now, it's because what they did the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in the making. Does that make sense? They built that, and awesome, like, props to them for doing that. But here's the thing, you guys, a lot of people don't do. There's extreme over here what they did. You guys work it like a normal people in here, they promote normality. Normality doesn't do shit for you. Like, if you do the normal job the way all your competitors do, you're gonna get normal results. It's not bad. Like, you'll probably make 120 grand a year. It's nothing bad. You know, I know our average is 320,000 for a sales rep that's been here for at least 2 years, and it's higher than in medical. I mean, Greg can attest. Like, our numbers are a lot higher than when you recruit out there, because we don't work it like a normal thing. So in closing, what I want to challenge you guys, and that sounds crazy, but you'd have to go home and you talk to your spouse. You're like, you know what? I've got big goals in life, and instead of me doing the normal job, what I want to do is put my head down for 3 months, and I want to treat this like I'm going off to like a fishing ship in Alaska, you know, or I'm going to wherever it is. I'm not here. I'm going to be a horrible husband, right? That sounds weird. Bear with me here. I'm not going to be the best father, you know. I've had this talk, and the irony is, like, I told Mary, I'm like, I probably missed more of my kids' school plays and stuff than probably any other dad in the group. But my kids have also, like, they go to Hawaii they go to Newport a couple times. They literally do vacations with a beach house. They walk on sand. Like, they get stuff that we're building a house with an 86-foot fucking water slide. It has 86 feet of water slide that comes down into this pool with a 15-foot garage. They get shit that no other kid gets. You know why? Because their dad misses a few school plays. I mean, it's a fucking good trade in my book, you know? And that's how it works. But the thing is, people don't have that mentality. Like, I think that's this rare group of people, and that's how I want to end this, is challenge you guys. Like, it doesn't come for free. Like, the reason I'm standing up here and telling you this and promoting it is there's been weeks where, months, years, we put hundreds and hundreds of hours in. But on the flip side, if you follow me on social media, I'll work really, really hard, and then I'll take a week and I'll go vacation, have a great time, you know? And I'll come back and I go right at it again. And it's like, people know, they're like, I'm getting lit up by Jeremy at 6 in the morning and just, what do you have coffee? Like at 5:30? Like, I go really, really hard, and then we have like a lot of fun. Does that make sense? And I think the thing that people in this room don't do is they're afraid to like turn it up a little bit. And it doesn't have to be for 2 years or 5 years or anything, but just a 3-month window. If you did like what Cody does, he just puts his head down for 3 months, trains 3 times a day, his food schedule's dialed in, every single meal is measured out, he's got his physical therapy, he's got the masseuse, everything, his days are just planned out. He can tell you every single thing that guy's gonna do for a 90-day period, and he just follows it. He's like, I'm gonna commit to it, and then he beats the shit out of people. I mean, you look at him fight, like, amazing, but he is like 100% committed when he does it. And I think if we took that same methodology in here, you've seen it. Do you guys see Greg Murray do that? Like, you guys heard him and saw him on the calls do that. And that was super motivating to so many people. And I would just challenge you, like, think about that. What if you actually committed for 90 days to just do this, everything possible? I'm gonna do thank you cards. I'm gonna make sales calls. I'm gonna write paperwork. I'm gonna meet with referral partners. I'm just gonna fucking go crush it for just 90 days. And after that 90 days, see what happens. Does that make sense? And you don't have to keep on that. You don't have to keep on thinking. But what will happen is, because you did that for 90 days and you go to pause, I actually, if you do this for 90 days, I encourage you to have a week where you just take off. Make sense? Work really, really hard, and then have somewhere you go and take a break and enjoy life. What will happen is you'll be so motivated because you accomplish these big things and you did great things. Now you got doctors who want to work with you. You got referral reps calling. You'll have so much momentum going into it that you'll be able to carry on that and the next quarter again. Does that make sense? And whatever you decide to do, it doesn't have to be 90-hour weeks. It doesn't have to be, you can choose your schedule how it is, but nobody does it where they fucking put their heads down and really give it their all, like 100%. It doesn't happen. something magical happens. I can't explain it, but the people, Christian knows you worked with Tyler Smith. Tyler's like that. He'll just put his head down and I'm gonna just crush everything. When you have that mentality, certain things happen, and it's so weird to explain. It's like your closing rate goes up. People they see your energy. They're like, man, Rob's in a hurry. He's got to get things done. We like working with Rob. And great things will happen. So I want to end with that. It's called the last point, intentional imbalance, slight edge theory. If you can apply that and just try it, there's no better time of the year than do it than harvest time, end of the year, and big things will happen. You'll surpass. If you're a rookie, you'll blow through other rookies in your class. You'll start competing with people who've been here 2-3 years. It makes a huge difference. So that's it. Thank you, guys.